We are live. Why is
Nintendo Guru is live. Come say hi to at Sean Capri and at JW Lacy. And I.
While we run Nintendo.
It's actually me in that case, Bobby.
I was gonna put that motherfucker, and I was like, no,
me.
that's wrong.
Nope.
You know what?
Take us out of it. That's how you know.
How about you host the show, Sean? How about that? Lacy jumped right on that, man. He's not playing games. It's gonna be one of them shows.
Oh shit! Am I supposed to record audio?
Yeah.
Probably.
Help. Yeah, because I can't. I mean, I could.
Yeah, no, it's better this way.
I could pull it off of. I could do what I did last week. I just pull it off of Twitch, and then.
Nah.
Do my thing.
Yeah.
This is better.
Let me see. Let me get the. I gotta do this to get the frame rates up for Rybo, because if I don't, he'll start screaming at me.
Don't even.
I don't want to upset the Ribbles. He's already
Mr. Ribbles is the weirdest and funniest and best thing you guys have ever made.
Dude. And you know what's crazy? It's not even done. Like,
oh no.
It's going to a whole other level.
I love the build quality on it.
Listen, I actually have, I don't know if I should even say this because we're on the air, but I'll just throw it out there. I actually have new logos coming.
What?
For a new show I'm going to start.
Oh my gosh, Bobby.
Called Me and Mr. Ribble.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, now I support this idea.
It's gonna be unbelievable when I tell you that's the truth. Like, insanely unbelievable.
Here's what I don't get. I like how I just make a reference about anything in Twitter, and then 5 minutes later, here's a GIF containing said reference. It's just like, how does he do it?
Rybo?
Yes.
He's amazing, dude. He is seriously amazing. But the funny thing is like, that was a conversation that me, you, and him were having. Yeah. And I was like, I got this idea. I got this fantastic idea. And then boom, yeah. And that's where it came. That was the idea, was to have Mr. Ribble kind of do this weird thing. And then all of a sudden I was talking to Rybo and I was like, dude, I got all these ideas for this thing. Like, I could take this to a whole nother level, man. I'm like, I'm going to do this. This is crazy. And he's like, I asked him for permission first. I'm like, are you okay if I do this? And he's like, yeah, man. And I was like, dude, this will be amazing. This is going to be the craziest thing I've ever done, but it'll be the most amazing thing, too.
I like it.
Okay. So, I think
you guys don't mind if the podcast has, like, my game's, like, soundtrack and sound effects going on in the background?
You want to shut that off?
Okay.
Okay.
Like now?
It'd be nice.
Do I have like 5 minutes?
I'm going to turn it on. I'm about to turn on the music. I'm turning the music on now. We're going. We're going live. We're going live. Dude,
okay.
It's now 10:32.
All right. You don't have to... Man, you're just about to ruin the whole show.
No, it didn't ruin the show yet.
Okay, now I'm ready.
Okay, here we go.
Are you ready?
What I said! Are you ready?
Can't do it. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Bow to the masters. Break it down.
If we ran Nintendo. If we ran Nintendo. If we ran Nintendo.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 117 of If We Ran Nintendo. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by the greatest co-host in all the land, Sean Capri. Sit down.
It's time to flex with Flux. Yes, I've been waiting all day to say that. Hi, Bobby. Also, Bobby's here.
Idiot. And also, we are joined by the greatest beard in all the land, Mr. Jason Lacy. What is up, sir?
Why is that a thing, Sean? No.
Yes.
Hi, Bobby.
Hello.
Hi, Bobby. Hi,
Hello.
Sean. I'm
Hello.
here.
Hello.
You're here. Hi, guys.
This is first time we've all been together in a while because you two jabronis don't ever want to show up for shows. I got one that shows up one week and then the other one shows up the next week, and it's like, what is going on over here?
Yep. Now you can't say anything real bad about us now that I'm not here. I'm right here, Bobby. What do you got to say?
Now that I'm not here, I can say whatever I want to say.
We gave each other a failsafe. That was the problem.
This is true.
How it is.
This is true. It's good, man. It's good. How you guys?
It's always good to like listen as a fan, but at the same time, you listen in to just see what Bobby the Nintendo does, how he's gonna slam you, what trash he's gonna throw.
That's why I do it, so that way I know you show up and listen. It's these little things.
Keep my name out your mouth, Bobby.
It's these little things, man. You just do these little things because it'll make
it makes you feel better. I guess go with it.
I heard that. What's going on over there?
That was thunder, man.
Oh, I thought it was a raccoon.
Holy cow, dude! That was loud as hell. I normally don't hear anything when I have these headsets on.
Yeah.
And I felt the rumble in the house. Oh. Well, listen, if it goes down, what do you guys get to pick up the slack?
We'll pick it back up, and then we'll throw your name through the mud.
That's fine. That's right. I'm prepared for it. So
Bobby with his New Jersey internet.
My internet's slamming, dude. Don't even mess with this. I'm zipping all over the place. I'm zippity-doo.
I've been zipping since 1992.
I don't.
Oh,
with my zip drive.
So WinZip. I was gonna invest in iOmega back in the day.
Oh man.
Wow.
I almost bought stock in them because I was like, this is gonna be the future. Thank God I didn't do that.
Dude, I thought I had to get one of those things. I was like, I gotta get a zip drive.
I had one. I had the 100 megabit, and then I went and upgraded to the 250.
100 megabit.
It's like, this is the future. And now it's like nothing. It's garbage.
Like unlimited space.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Dude, I remember when I had like a 256 meg flash drive, and I was like, this is awesome.
My dad still has one. It's called the Jumbo Drive, and it is enormous.
Oh my lord. Yep. So I did something today. I don't know if you guys had a moment to watch Nintendo Guru Daily today, but I made an announcement that I'm going to basically run through all the podcasts and do at this moment.
Ooh.
Doing a giveaway. $50 eShop card is up for grabs. And essentially the easiest way to do this for anybody that's listening right now or whatever is you just go to all the different podcasts that we have and rate and review them. And then after 2 weeks, I will grab those names and drop them into a random generator and pull a name. But here's the unique thing about this. Every time you rate a show, meaning I have 6 shows that we do across the board. Every time you rate and review a show, that enters you into the drawing.
That was my question. Do they get multiple entries?
Yes. So you can actually get up to 6 entries into this thing. It's kind of cool. So I'm going to run it for 2 weeks because I'm not sure how long it takes from the minute you put in, the review to how long it actually goes up. Point. So I figured let me give it a little bit of time to kind of let this run through and go what it is. But I think it's kind of something that would be kind of cool. But $50 eShop card, and the nice thing about it is we can do it anywhere. We can kind of just like, if you're in Japan, I can buy a card over there, send it there. If you're in Europe, I can do the same thing. Because I'm gonna actually reach out to a couple of people from like Europe and all that, and like, hey man, can you pull the reviews off there and let me see where we're at over there?
Can you make this like an official giveaway and you have to run it through Gleam.io?
What is Gleam.io?
No, that's I
that's
hate
the thing.
that.
You always sign up with a social media account, and then you get plus so many entries for doing this, and follow them on Twitter, and you get more entries. Share it with a friend, you get these entries, and you can get up to 800 entries.
No.
No.
Rybo. Sorry I'm late. I was busy writing down all the reviews I have to post to win a totally rigged giveaway. It's not available in Canada, just so you know. Rybo.
Says the guy that just who give away.
It's available in Japan.
Yeah.
It's available in
It's
Europe,
available everywhere but Toronto. Everywhere
David
but Toronto. David Ray in the house. What is up? Purple Monkey Entertainment. Jonathan Brown. How you doing? So let's kick this episode off like we do each and every episode with our shout-outs.
Flux with Flux. Yes, it's time for Flux with Flux.
You just ruined the whole gimmick. Like, that's horrible.
You gotta watch when you say that.
Yeah, exactly, because you get very close to saying some other stuff, and you better knock it off.
Listen, I'm a professional enunciator. It's all right.
I want to give my first shout-out to my wonderful co-host on another show that I do. The lovely and amazing Chelsea Capri. From Breaking Bells. I gotta tell you something. Dude, I said to her last night, I feel like I'm podcasting with Sean again. Yeah. Because you two idiots act the same. Like, she's sitting there and she's got a cup. Look at my cup, Bobby. Look at my cup. And I'm like, what is happening right now? I'm like, stop. Like, this is horrible, man. Like, it was, and every time I was getting ready to go, like, what is up? She's like, she starts talking and I'm like, could you stop talking so I can start the show? It was, but it was the most amazing thing ever to see, like, how in tune these two are. Like, they are identical beings, man. It is so awesome. It was amazing. Amazing.
I'll take it as a compliment. She is amazing and amazing. That's funny to hear, man. Because I don't know those things. Like, I'm not there when you guys record, obviously. Yeah.
The nice thing about me, because you know me, Sean. The nice thing about me is that stuff will show up in podcasts. Because I'll just drop
the first episode you did with her. You had like an intro that was very much like the good old days. So I giggled a lot.
It was great. It was great.
Funny.
Mr. Lacy, do you have a shout out?
My first shout out, sir, goes to the super awesome guy. Hangs out in like all the communities. Great dude, Mr. Callow.
Oh yes,
I love me some Callow. Solid
awesome.
Dude.
He's awesome.
And just had a lot of good chats with him this week.
That's
had
awesome.
A lot of awesome fun with it. I love whenever he'll like type something in Discord. He's like, he'll ask random person because he'll consider them an expert on said subject, and he'll be like, "Hey, how do I do this, or what's this all about?" Like, for instance, he was like asking about who Captain Marvel was. Who's this Captain Marvel chick? Why do I care about her? Okay, fine. I'm just gonna go to Google, and then he'll tweet at it too. But one thing I love about Cal is like, why the hell is my phone blowing up? I'll say, and I like, oh. Cal's got something
going on. And like, you never
again.
clue in, like, 20 notifications or 20 plus. Like, I wonder what that could be. As if like not every single time it's always Callow.
Well, this time though, it's like what GBA awesomeness has he got going on now? You know, he's got all these modded Game Boys and playing old school and getting all these games.
He's awesome, man.
Super Mario Advance 4, so good.
Awesome dude though. Love me some Callow.
Sean, what about a shout out for you?
I have three.
Well, I said we're gonna go through rotation because I still have some. I'm sure Mr. Lacy has a couple left. Like rotation. I want one.
Who do I start with then? I will start with why I wasn't here last week.
Okay.
So my first shout out is to Brock McLaughlin. So I don't even know if he listens to the show, but I just want to let everybody know that I'm very appreciative of Mr. Brock McLaughlin because he got me into a really cool chance to go demo that Smash game that people are getting excited about.
Heard it was boring.
Yes.
Brothers Ultimate.
I know. I heard it was boring before we went live last week. Like, I don't know what idiot thinks that, but okay.
Look, man.
Listen, I understand. If you just suck, that's the problem.
I do suck. Suck.
That's the problem.
I'm very bad at the game.
Yeah.
It's Smash. But I just wanted to say thank you to Brock for getting me in there, man. It was very cool. Free food, good hangs, and then we had some beers afterwards. It was a good time.
Brock is awesome.
Brock McLaughlin from Game Moves Podcast, BrockstarGaming.com.
Yeah, I love Brock. And dude,
hope it was Molson.
You did awesome, dude. You did really good. Besides the fact you kept crying out that you weren't playing Rocket League, but it was
Rocket League.
You're like, I signed up for Rocket League. I don't understand what's going on with Rocket League. How much longer until Rocket League's downloaded? I'm like,
you know what, man?
Finally, I'm just like, Sean, shut up about Rocket League and shoot some rockets off.
You know what, man? I think I know what I'm doing, man. So you just take it easy over there because I got some very kind words from that team, from the Xbox team. They said that was the most engagement they had the whole weekend. Was that hour?
I was there. There's
people that like you were there before we started, and like basically getting everybody else who's on there. Like, just get out of here. Like, we're here for Sean.
I said that. I was like, I'm here for Sean Capri, and I didn't realize. Okay, so I go in there, right? I think it's like Xbox people. I don't realize they brought in other streamers. And the guy's there, and I'm like, I'm here for Sean Capri. And he's like, who's Sean Capri? And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. This guy isn't, okay, this guy's not in on the gimmick. He doesn't realize that
he doesn't know who's coming up.
And then I was like, okay. And then I started talking nonsense and all that. But then I was like throwing some compliments to the Xbox Canada
team.
team.
So much, man.
Yeah, it was
like I've been in contact with him all week, and you guys have no idea what you've done for me. So thank you so much, and Brock, like crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
Sean, were you
Crazy
able
horse.
to introduce them to the most horse-powerful podcast on the internet?
I was able to introduce them.
That's
and,
awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool, man. They follow the Xbox Drive, and yeah, they definitely listen. So
I got to
it's
move to
very,
Canada. This American bullshit's got to go.
All you gotta do is say hi.
Yeah.
Hi, I like your game.
Yeah.
Like, here you go.
Yeah, they're like, here you go. Like, come on, dude. What's going on over here? I can't get nothing.
That motion.
You know what that motion was.
That was
because you were doing that all weekend
Have
long.
you seen the gifs? That's how Bobby eats ice cream.
That's how he does.
Dripping all over his chin too.
I forgot Rybo's here. I'm giving him like gold over here.
Clip.
Look at it. David Wright, gif it, Rybo. Like, it's done. My second shout out. I can't go into details, sadly. But everybody needs to tweet at Mr. Toby Thornton at Toby's_take and just tell him that you're praying for him and you're hoping everything is good for him.
Oh man.
Like, everything is better. Let me put it to you that way. But I can't really say anything just because he came to me privately and we had a conversation. Nothing bad, like, in terms of, like, him and Karina are fine, the baby's fine, all that stuff. It's just something happened this week, last week actually. But I think he needs a little uplifting. And he's such a good guy, dude, because earlier this week, like, I posted some stuff on Facebook about wanting to, like, pull memories down because some stuff kept popping up, and he was like, and he reached right out to me. He's like, "Are you okay, man? You doing okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm good." But just Toby needs a little. And you know what the thing is I think he feels left out in everything a lot of times because he's over there in England, and no one cares about England. You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest. So I think he feels a little left out. So I think ultimately, like, just show him some love, and you know, so Jason Lacy. You have another shout out?
Yeah, my second shout out. He won't hear this because I don't believe he has any idea what this podcast is. But it's Matt, the admin and creator of CouchBot, because that CouchBot is this nice little add-on I have on my Discord server that I do all this automation crap to spam my users and promote things, and stuff wasn't working right. And I was like, Matt, you need to fix this. And then he's like, I took a 4-day vacation. I'll fix it later. And then he came back today and we fixed it. He had to redo all this recoding because of me going, fix this.
So essentially, he's your Rybo.
He's your Rybo.
For one thing that I pay to use, yes.
You haven't seen him and Rybo in the same room. It could have been Rybo.
It could have been Rybo. It could have been Rybo.
It could have been.
I did the same thing to Rybo today. I was like, Rybo, I got the Planet Nintendo podcast is all up. It's there. It's on iTunes now. I said, you need to do that magic that you do. Like, the minute I upload something, it hits the Discord. And he's like,
dude,
no problem. And then boom, here it comes. Like,
crazy thing.
He's just that guy.
I mean, it is a great programming language because it sounds like my name, a little Jason.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah. Mr. Capri.
Hi. Mine is Jonathan Brown. My next one, Jonathan Brown.
Don't kiss his butt. Come on, stop it.
He's going to be on We the Gamercast this week, so everybody check that out on Monday. I'm going to talk to you tomorrow, Mr. Purple Monkey Entertainment.
Nice.
Musical GQ. We're going to talk about music and probably other things.
The my final shout out for the Eva 9 is Mitch Powers.
Oh yeah.
I was on his show this weekend, and after a lot of people threw some shade and talked a lot of trash that I shouldn't be there.
I think I was one of those people.
Yeah, thank you.
How come?
Thank you. Because they were like, because I was just like, I was just like, hey, what do I got to do to get on this show?
Oh,
and
yeah.
like all of a sudden, like all these people come on, he shouldn't be on there. Like what the hell's going on over here, dude? Like my supposed friends are like totally killing me, and then he messaged me privately and was like, I'm not listening to these guys. Like you're more than welcome to come on. I was like, okay, cool. Yes. So I go on the show, and then when it was done, he was like, actually, we weren't even done. Like we're in hour 3 at this point. And
oh my god!
Yeah, dude, it's like literally legit. We talked for 45 minutes before he even hit the record button, and then it was like then we go on for another 2 hours, so it's probably one of his longest episodes.
Here's the thing about me. It is totally different. I hit the record button 5 minutes before the start, and then and just so I don't forget.
I should correct it. I should correct that. He did turn it on, but he like marked off like, okay, this is where we're actually going to start.
There you go. I got
to do this timestamp because we talked for 45 minutes about random stupid nonsense, and then we got into it. But dude, such a laid back guy. Like I got in there and I just started talking, and then you guys know how I can get, and I mean it's no like I do it all the time here and all that stuff. And you know what, man, F you, Capri. And
I'm just agreeing with you. What's the problem?
You could be like, no, you're okay, Bob. No, you just basically like kick a man when he's down. I understand. It's the Canadian way, and then you'll come back and apologize 5 minutes later.
I'm sorry, I didn't know you were down.
See, told you. He'll apologize 5 minutes later. It's very easy to get you to apologize. Unless he tells you to F off, then it's very difficult to make him apologize. But anyway, no, we got in there, we started talking. Next thing I know, I'm like, holy crap, dude, this guy is really awesome, really cool. And then I find out that, like, Sean was the one that basically pushed him to start the show and, you know, and all that stuff. Like, Sean had him on We the Gamer Cast, and pretty awesome. So, then I went through the laundry list of all the people he had on. I was like, man, do I really want to go on this show now? I mean, like, he had Skinny Matt and Jason Lacy and Donnie.
I've not been on it.
You weren't on it? I thought you were on it.
I haven't been on it.
Oh, well, then
Lucas has been on it.
Oh, that's okay. I knew it was one of you.
He'll get to you. He'll get to you.
He really shouldn't, but whatever.
Just working through the Weeby Gamer cast list.
Probably shouldn't.
There we go. Lacey, you have anybody else?
My last one goes to Mr. Trash Turkey. You might know him for a guy that somehow hangs out with Grouchy Surge.
Mm-hmm.
So he's questionable. He's questionable at best. But there's a joke going around that I like contracts, and so they're trying to get me on to be a host on Backlog Busters, I guess. So they made a sweet contract, and it's Dear Jay. Rest of my name's redacted, so you don't know it's me. Be on show? ? Yes, no, sincerely, and there's a turkey leg, and it's all done in crayon on colored paper.
I'll answer for you. The answer is no. The answer is no. It's not happening.
I can show it. I can show it really quick. Yeah. You can see it.
Why are they asking you to be on the show? Did one of their hosts quit? Is that what happened? Did somebody quit and they? Look at that! It's screen share.
Oh my God.
That is so good.
Good God.
Surge is like, I hear Jason really likes contracts. That'll work. Do that.
That's really good.
Good Lord. Good Lord. Sean, your final shout out.
Man. Very quickly, Ted258, how could I not? I was just over in PSVG land, and they're recording an episode of the podcast, and Ted comes in, says, I'm crazy, and tips 500 bits. And I'm just like, this guy is nuts, man. He's just awesome. He's awesome. So shout out to Ted. Thank you for spreading the love, man, and encouraging everybody. It's great. Everywhere I'm at, I'm in every stream and saying hello, and then there's Ted throwing bits at everybody's nuts.
He's pretty awesome.
It's great.
He's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So fellas, before we get a little crazy here, we're at what? We're about 20 minutes.
20 minutes before we gotta do topics.
Oh yeah, trust me. I'm my whole goal in life now is to push Todd Oxtra over the deep end. Like that's my goal. My goal is to drive him insane. How you doing, Todd?
Talks.
Hi, Todd. Hello, Todd.
I can't wait to start. You're gonna start a new podcast of the Todd Oxtra Ain't No Way We Ever Get Into Topics. So shut the hell up, podcast by the Nintendo Guru.
Yeah, it's true. That's probably
coming. It's Free Flow Friday.
That's Free Flow Friday, the podcast version.
No Todd Oxtras allowed.
No Todd Oxtras allowed. But you know what? He always gets pulled back into it, so he loves it. He just sits there with a big grin on his face.
That would be the web domain. No Todd Oxtras.
Exactly.
NintendoGuru.com/no Todd Oxtra. That's the URL for it.
Now.
So I mean, we started to talk some gaming stuff prior to this, but it was like talking to two dead fish over here. Like, one saying, like, oh, I ain't got nothing to play. And the other one's playing Xbox World. So you guys can figure out what's going on over there.
It's a Switch game. It's Skyforce Reloaded. It's a Switch game. It counts.
How do you like it, Sean?
I like it a lot, man. But you know what? I don't want to tell you anything about it because you're just slamming me all over the place here. What the hell?
I'm just
playing. I like my shmups. Let's talk about this. You don't like the word shmups?
I think it's the dumbest name in the world. I think because it doesn't even shmups is not what it is. Shoot 'em ups is not shmup. Like, where do all these letters come from? They're not even lined up properly. It's a joke.
Shmups, we gotta like just
No, it's
tighten
garbage.
it up a little bit. It's shoot 'em up is it shoot them up? Did it okay? So
Shoot
it was
'em
like
up.
was it originally shoot them up, and then somebody shortened it to shoot 'em up, and then you were cool with that? Like
I don't like
can't
any
have
of it.
both
I
ways
just
on
like Gradius type game. Like that's all you gotta say. Like
Gradius.
Metroid Gradius. That's what you say.
Exactly. I like it, and you know who used that word very liberally was Nintendo Paddywagon.
He throws it all over the place, man.
Of course.
It's like his little peen. It's his second little peen. And he's just
Skyforce Anniversary was in his best schmucks game. So shout out to Paddywagon. I like that game. I played a bunch of Octopath actually while I was away.
Really?
I'm working my way very slowly still. I think I'm gonna be. This is my 2018 Breath of the Wild. I'm gonna be playing this game for 6 months, and I love it, man. I'm in no rush. It's just fun to
every
turn off
time
my brain, listen to a podcast.
Every time I sit there and go like, I got to go back to this game, I get sidetracked with something else. The Messenger right now
Like a
has
different
me
game?
so like I am in love with that game. That game is so good, man.
Yeah, you have to pick it up.
And it's not crazy hard like the original Ninja Gaiden games, which I like because those Ninja Gaiden games would get you to the point where you were ready to just like smack little babies in the twat. Like it was just such a mess.
What has happened to this show, man?
I don't know, man. I just like
I've never heard anyone say that.
Somebody please clip that out on the Twitch channel, please.
that was just. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell. You know what? You got me up so damn late doing this podcast. That's the problem, man. So it's just whatever.
It is late. I was in your time zone last week, and I was like, oh man, this sucks for those guys.
Yeah, man. It's like what the hell. So, but no, it's seriously such a good game. Like, man, I really love this game, and that's the crazy thing is like, you play the Switch, and everybody sits there and goes like, "There's no games, there's no games, there's no game." There might not be any Nintendo games, but dude, there are so many good games. It is insane right now. Jason, what are you were saying you were done with games?
I finished the Messenger last weekend.
Okay.
I just marathoned it through. I played it. I think I played it actually. I might have played it even after we recorded last week. I played it for a bit. I stayed up and I played it Saturday, and I played it Sunday, and I finished it Sunday night.
Yeah.
It's a good game. I love
it.
I'm glad you said that point though, because I'm glad someone else besides me has said it. Is that because I think there's a misconception with that game that it's this incredibly difficult precision base, and I think that's turned some people off because at least some of the trailers it does look like that a bit, and I'm glad. I think it's a lot more accessible to people than you might initially think. So I've encoured people to, if they're interested in it.
It's not like it's not like the original. Like it's not like Dead Cells. Like I think Dead Cells is very hard. Don't get me wrong, I love Dead Cells and I enjoy playing it, but you die a lot in it, and it's like it can get a little frustrating at times. Where this game, I just kept flowing, I'm still playing, but I just keep flowing through, and it's like, holy crap!
Yeah.
And you're unlocking power ups, and it's making you stronger and better. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm also really hyped up about this Mega Man demo that came out.
Oh man,
I haven't had a chance to play that like at home. I played it at work a little bit.
God,
I
it
really,
is so good.
Like uninterrupted, just really try it. You know.
The crazy thing is that you play that demo and it's only one level. You're just playing, I guess, the first level. But when you play a Mega Man game, you can pick any level to be your first level. But they throw you in this level, and it looks gorgeous. Like, straight up looks gorgeous. And it plays so effing good. Like, you play this game, and it's like, oh my god. Like, it actually just takes everything that I think they wanted Mighty Number 9 to be, and just makes it work. And it has that graphic style. Like, I remember when I was talking to somebody that I don't want to name drop, but I was talking to him about Mega Man. And
now you don't.
Colin Moriarty. When I was talking to him about Mega Man, and he was just like, that was his fear, was that art style. Because he was like, that can really hinder a game, is that particular art style. Like, it can make the game slow and feel slow, and it doesn't with this game. Like, it just looks fast. It feels fast. It's just like, I heard the biggest complaint today where people are such assholes on the internet. People were complaining, and I don't know whether they were being facetious or they were legit. They were mad that, like, when you hit the door to go into the boss stage...
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
Typically, Mega Man pauses and waits for the door to go up, and then you can run in. Well, this one doesn't. It, like, as the door's open, he runs in. And it was like, people were, like, posting pictures of it today on Twitter and, like, complaining. I'm like, are they really complaining or are they just joking?
Dude, that's because
that's trash.
You gotta enter doors. You gotta jump up and hit it, so he's frozen in midair, and then goes through. That is the best.
But everybody knows that move.
But that's not a complaint for the game. Like, come on, dude.
Are the puddles good?
I'm sure the puddles are better than
old Spidey over there.
Yeah. Like, that's
I'm always a fan with the old style pixels too, but I'm glad they moved away from what they did on 9 and 10.
Yes.
We got this new.
Yeah, because 9 and 10, like, you would think. See, that's what I liked about it. And that's what I was calling for. Like, I remember, man, like a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, when Sean and I were doing this show, and I was like, Nintendo needs to buy Mega Man from Capcom and update the graphics and do, like, a really ramped up Mega Man game. And that's what Capcom did. You know, and it was like, this is awesome, man. I love what they've done with this game. Like, it is gorgeous, man. It's like watching a water painting play to some degree. Like, it's
in a Fuene who.
Yeah,
get out of here.
Exactly, man. We don't need your ass. Like, get out of here, bro. Move on. So it's
you're done, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need your ass.
I would like to see, and I probably will do this. I want to buy the Japanese version because I just want Rockman. You know what I mean? Like, I want the Rockman. Book or not book. They don't do instruction booklets anymore, people. I want the book, the box art that just says Rockman on it. So anyway, so let's jump into some topics because Todd Oxford's going out of his effing mind right now. Which one do you guys want to start off with? Because we're definitely not going to have time to hit all three.
No.
So
we'll probably be lucky to get through one.
What was the consensus? I guess we should hit.
Let's do the title. Let's
do the title of the show. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if we ran Nintendo, I don't know what Sean's typing here. This is ridiculous. Ain't no cloud saves for some games. Like, you really put it like that? So
this ain't no G in playing Nintendo.
Exactly. Right. I get a little hyped up. You thought you're talking to Donnie for a minute there. So essentially, it came out today, literally, that there might not be cloud saves on certain games.
Which games, Bobby?
Splatoon 2.
Yep.
Dark Souls.
Yeah.
There was another one.
Another Nintendo game.
One of the Pokemons.
Oh, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
Yep.
So here's my thing. And I'm not sure because I want to break this down a little bit before we move into what we would do.
It's bad no matter how you slice it.
Well,
man.
my thing is we don't know that that's the case.
It is. Okay.
It is why Nintendo came out and said
there's
this.
There's an update. Yep, there's an update on the article that we were looking at over at GameInformer.com. This is as of 8:54 p.m. Central Time, which is like not even 10 minutes ago, apparently.
Okay.
Right? I don't know. Nintendo responded to our request for comment stating that the lack of cloud saves is because of item duplication possibilities. So they don't know how to manage files like replacing one another. And I don't know. That's how I interpret that. The vast majority of Nintendo Switch games will support save data cloud backup. However, in certain games, this feature would make it possible to, for example, regain items that had been traded to other players or revert to a higher online multiplayer ranking that has been lost. To ensure fair play, save data cloud backup may not be enabled for such games. To ensure that save data cloud backups cannot be used to unfairly affect online multiplayer rankings, the feature will not be enabled in Splatoon 2. That's amateur hour at its best, man. This is so awesome. Nintendo just dipping its toes into online. If you ever thought about, like, why aren't they charging you full price for it? This is a huge hint that they don't know what the hell they're doing, man. What the heck?
Well, I mean, that's...
I don't know how we address that because you can't tell me that that's not... I was gonna say, you can't tell me that there's not that concern on any other platform that has a cloud save. There's no other game that could possibly encounter this.
That's what I don't understand. Like, what the hell are they doing in terms of, like, are they not talking to people? Like, you brought DNA in, and DNA was supposed to come in to manage your online infrastructure to some degree. Like, that was the whole thing. Nintendo would utilize them to make games on mobile, and then, like, that's what they gained, where they would market all Nintendo's mobile games, and they would make money that way. And then they would also come to Nintendo to go like, hey, we'll work all your online infrastructure and all that. Like, you were supposed to get rid of friend codes. Took them forever to finally get rid of them. Like,
we haven't got rid of them.
Well, to some degree we have, Sean, because you can actually look people up different ways now.
I mean, fair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like,
You got, like, follow me on Twitter, and then maybe it'll show up on your recommended.
I would like to just be like, type in Fluxay, and then boom, there I am.
well, that would be nice. That would be nice.
936-4729, you know. Whatever.
But I mean, like, you can look it up through different games and all. Like, they're starting to do, hopefully.
There's options.
Yeah, there's different. I don't know, because I get a bunch
just
of
the
friend requests
same
every day,
old
so
though with everything Nintendo is that, like, okay, you're getting your cloud saves, you guys are gonna be happy, and it's like, ooh, this kind of disclaimer at the last minute, just kind of this is not the way it should go. You know what
the thing that I guess I kind of. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's no correction on all this. I guess but what I'm saying is, I guess I can kind of see what they're trying to say with the whole Pokemon thing, because I guess they're worried that people are going to steal, like, they're going to trade away a Pokemon and then actually be able to pull it back. I think that's what they're getting at, but I don't know, like that.
It seems like you can control that though in the game itself. Like, as soon as you have the trade, boom, cloud save, it goes up to the cloud, and then that's the instant that's up there. You can't.
Like, the crazy thing is, this is like, okay, so there was a thing in Animal Crossing New Leaf called duping, and what essentially it was you would drop an item on the ground, right, and then save the game, and as the save circle hit a certain point, you turn your Wi-Fi off, and if you hit it perfectly, the person in the town got the item, and you had the item in your pocket still. And it was called duping. You would duplicate items. So Nintendo never had a problem with that. So it's like, so what if people are duplicating Pokemon? Like, so I give you, unless they're worried about, like, people selling them, or like, I don't know. I don't understand the whole concept behind it. And it seems like they don't really understand the whole concept behind it either.
That's my problem with it.
And it's
so
like,
I guess, like, in the spirit of, like, if we ran Nintendo, like, what do you even do about this? Obviously, like, do you wait? At this point, it's too late to wait. But, like, would we have launched Nintendo Switch Online? I start to get the feeling like it's not ready to be rolled out in fully fleshed out form.
This is what you do. Obviously, they're not ready. And you don't half-ass it out. So
I agree.
So for me, this is what I would do. I would eliminate cloud saves altogether at this juncture. And then I would say, oh, by the way, you can now upload your SD card to your computer and do a backup that way.
Give us something.
And that will be your backup for now. And then hopefully in 6 months we fix this thing and then we move forward. Because I think if you gimp it out, you're just asking for problems, ultimately. And it's always been this thing of, like, they half-ass something, they don't do it. Think about it, like voice chat. Oh, we're not going to do voice chat on this thing. And then everybody thought, like, there's no way. And then here comes Epic, and now everybody thinks, like, oh my god, these guys are the most amazing people in the world. And it's like, are they, though? Basically, the thing was already there. You know what I mean? Wireless headsets weren't supposed to be a thing, and then boom, now they're there. And it's like, it's just...
It's totally tone deaf.
Yeah.
Is what it is. It's classic tone deaf Nintendo. Like, they've sold so many too. Like, this is just clearly not a priority.
Yeah.
So.
And Rybo brings up a good point. Like, why the hell is Bandai Namco doing it as well? Like, what advantage is that? Like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
That's a game like Zelda. Like, if you're gonna do the backup for Zelda and Mario, why aren't you doing it for this? But there is online multiplayer in this game, correct? Dark Souls doesn't. Dark Souls has like
it has like a weird like multiplayer component,
and I think that might be the issue. Is the way it sounds like any game that has online multiplayer functionality just isn't getting cloud saves. which is the dumbest shit in the world, man.
With Pokemon, I can kind of see it too, because the Pokemon company is probably gonna be like, well, I don't want them to have. Why would I let them have cloud saves here when we can make you buy into Pokemon Bank and pay for that?
Well, that was the one thing that they were saying was the one thing that they were saying was they think that's the case. They think that might be a Pokemon company thing, not a Nintendo thing. That they basically want you to still continue to pay the $5 a year for the Pokemon Bank.
Exactly.
And then they don't want you to be able to, like, have this. Because if you think about it, if they start this, then what I think they're worried about is people figuring out a way to transfer all their Pokemon over to this, and now they just have it on cloud save and they don't have to worry about any of that.
Right.
Or, and maybe not just this game, but maybe a future iteration of it. So
it's just so frustrating, because you would think since the Wii U era, they'd probably think, okay, we need to get online and get in order, and we would start developing and building out a service. And now we're at what 18 months almost of the Switch. We're going to be past the 18-month point when it does launch, and it's not. They still don't have a fully functioning, fully fleshed out path to take it. I mean,
so let me ask you a serious question. In the grand scheme of things, how important? And be honest when I'm asking this question. How important, with everything that's going to be involved in this online, is the cloud saves to you?
I think it's huge, man.
I'm not saying do you think it's huge. I'm saying to you personally. Do you feel like you feel like cloud saves is like the number one item of what they're doing here?
I see what you're saying. No, it's definitely not number one.
Yeah.
But it's a weird thing, because it's like, it's just a thing that you should just have. Like, it's sort of like power steering on your car. It's not like I bought my car because it's got power steering.
No,
I
know.
Like, that's just the thing that it should have. Like, it's just a feature that, you know.
I think I look at it and I go, like,
it's 2018 and we haven't not had like fuel injection or power steering since like 1992, where it's like, oh, it was novel.
I get that. I guess what I'm trying to say is, for me personally, like, this wasn't a selling point for me at all. Cloud saves. Like, I thought, I'd be honest with you, I thought, like, oh, this is cool to have, but I didn't give a damn about it. Like, I looked at. Man,
I just bought my PS4 Pro, my Spidey edition, and moving everything to that thing was the easiest thing that I've experienced, and I've gone through a lot of console transitions ever. Like, if something happens to my Switch, or if I even choose to buy another one, which is actually the more likely thing. Like, we've had this conversation before, where it's like, how many Nintendo consoles of mine have died? Not nearly as many as I've bought a new one, and I want to move over there. That has to be easy. And like, for me, I didn't even have the two PlayStations in the same room. It was just easy to go up to the cloud, and then it came back down, and everything was great, and it was super simple.
Yeah.
I don't have those features with Nintendo, and these are the things that like keep it from. I know you made fun of me before, but like, it keeps me from like taking it seriously. Like, it's already got the family friendly angle, which is a good or bad thing depending on who you are and what you think of that. But it's hard for me to take it as a serious console when things like this happen, and for the reasons that they're quoting. It's nonsense, man. These are challenges that the other consoles have tackled for over 10 years now. So like you said, it's either on or off. None of this like, well, Splatoon and like not even
because I don't want to have to try to figure out. I don't want to have to try to figure out which games do it, which one don't.
Yeah, man.
I feel like all first party it should be on.
Yeah, if it's a first party, there should be no reason why. Listen, bullshit. Everything should be on there. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I agree with that aspect of it. But I just look at it, for me, like I said, me personally, when I heard about the online, I thought games was first, playing online was second, and then cloud saves was third. That was just my I didn't even think about, like, okay. And I think the other thing, too, is it's so damn cheap that, like, it's just a no-brainer. But still, it doesn't mean that, like, when you offer something, dude, you should have had it ready to go before you're offering it. Like, don't offer me something and then be like, oh, well, we're not really gonna do it the full way. Like, don't offer it to me at all then. Like, like I said, if you want to do the perfect thing for me, you do the perfect thing. I don't give a damn about cloud saves. Let me be able to do what I can do with my 3DS. Just everybody's got a computer. Back up the damn games on the computer, the save files on the computer, and then when it comes time to transfer, and I just click a button, everything moves over, and simple. So, and the crazy thing is, it's like, it was so easy for me to do when I upgraded my memory card, but it wasn't the game saves. It was just the game data that I just put it in a computer, transferred it over, done. Why can't you just let me do the games? And I think ultimately that's because all the games, the save files, download to the console itself, which is that's a huge mistake. Like, that's a big issue. Get it off there. Let me put it on my SD cards, and then we're fine. But it's like,
that sort of makes me think that we're stuck with this for this gen. Like, it is. I feel like
I don't agree with that statement at all.
It sounds temporary. I don't know. Man.
I don't agree with that because I look at everything. I look at all the upgrades that have come through updates for this thing since it launched. Like I said, dude, the first thing I had friends ask me was like, "Can I use my Sony Golds on it?" No. And now you can. Can I use this controller on it? No. And now you can. And it's like when they do these upgrades and these updates to the console itself, it slowly becomes a different beast than it was. So for me, I look at it and go, I can't rule anything out on this thing anymore. Because they've just constantly changed and adapted with this console and totally like threw me for a loop every time I turn around. Like, oh, I can do this with it now. I can do. So to me, to say like this is the way it's going to be for the entire time, no. But I think also people need to voice their opinions and tell them like you're effing up here. This is not what we want. The same way that they did with the headsets. The same way that they did about the voice chat and the app and all that stuff. And then slowly they started to move over. At least other gaming companies started to show like, hey, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this.
So you're telling me your number one most excited thing about the online service wasn't the app integration? That's not number one on your
games. List? Games was my number one.
Okay.
Just because I thought, and that's the weird thing, like you look at what they're doing with the games, right? And the pass the controller feature and all that stuff, and you turn around and you go like, that is the most ingenious thing ever. Like to me. I can actually play a game like I'm couch co-oping back in the 80s. Like, literally, like, oh, Jason, you want to play now? Hit a button, and then all of a sudden, you take over the controls on the screen.
Right.
Like playing Zelda. Like, that, to me, is amazing. But then, something that's so simple like this, you drop the ball, and it's like, what are you doing? I don't get it, man. I don't understand it at all. Honestly, it's a befuddling moment for me for Nintendo, and it's crazy because I mean, look, I'm the fanboy here. I'm the one that loves everything, and all this stuff. But it just it blows my mind that like, we can't get like I said, don't half-ass it. Do it right or don't do it at all.
It's going to be such heavily scrutinized, like as we're already seeing, in terms of the entire industry. And
the other thing too is I wonder. I hope it's not for this generation, Sean, because of the fact of like I don't think that this generation ends anytime soon. Like I think this is a 20-year generation. Honestly, I really think the Switch is a 20-year cycle. That's my belief.
I hope so.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the point about all those other things that were added because you're right. Absolutely. I just think that for a lot of the more online focus things like the app, I think we're locked in on the app for a little while. I think the overall UI or the store is mostly going to be about the same for the most of the generation. I don't anticipate like major changes.
Yeah.
But I mean, like we're sort of enabling them to do all this stuff anyways, because this is probably not going to change anybody's decision to go ahead and buy Nintendo Switch Online for the most part. So if we were at Nintendo, would we be like too concerned about this, about people's reaction to it? Probably not, but our concern matches the priority that we assigned to it to begin with. So it's like, it's just a big, like, it just feels like a big, like, shrug emoji, just like, whatever, you'll buy it anyways because it's cheap. And we didn't really like overpromise anything except for the fact that you just flat out said cloud saves from the start and now it's coming out. Like, it's just, I don't know, man.
It's weird because it reminds me of what this moment reminds me of, truthfully, is when Hori put out that dongle, and everybody flipped about it, and Nintendo just they just ignored it, and then they were like, "Oh, online's gonna be $20," and everybody was just like, "Boom," and didn't even care about anything about the stuff. So I was waiting for that to happen. I was waiting for Nintendo to just be like,
Rybo.
You know what? You are trash, Rybo. I was just waiting. It's all right because Little Ribble is gonna take over the
Little
world.
Ribble.
Little Ribble, Mr. Ribble is gonna take over the world. But for me, I looked at it and I was like, I was waiting for Nintendo to come out with something to mask this, but they didn't.
Don't look over there.
Yeah,
look
yeah,
over here.
And they're notorious for that, because I remember something that Sean brought up when the Switch first launched. If you remember back when they did their first teaser, and they didn't do anything with touchscreen, and then everybody was like, "It doesn't have touchscreen. What is going?" Like everybody assumed, and they were like, "It's got to have touchscreen. Why does it have touchscreen? It's got to have." And Sean was like, "Dude, they just played all you guys. Like they made you want it. When before that, everybody was like, it better not have touchscreen." Yeah. And then the minute they didn't show it, they're like, "What do you mean it doesn't have it?" And then they were like, "Oh, of course it has touchscreen." It was like, "Yes, they're the greatest ever." And it was like, this was going to be this way the whole time, you idiots.
Sometimes I feel like Eric Cartman is running Nintendo. he's just like trolling us the whole time.
I believe Reggie's a lot like Eric Cartman, to be honest with you. Sometimes.
Yeah, a little bit. They build a park that you're not allowed to go to.
Yeah. So we're at the 51-minute mark. And I do want to do that. I do want to talk about this a little bit, and we can kind of end on this. Is because something bad happened this week in Japan, a massive earthquake that basically just wrecked a portion of Japan. Two things. One, I want to thank our community because I didn't see anybody in our community pissed off that we weren't getting a direct. But there were people that were like losing their minds that the direct was delayed. And it was like, grow up. Like, seriously. Like, just if you're trolling, go troll about something else. If you're not trolling, man, go get out of mommy and daddy's basement and go see some sunlight, man, because you're just lost in the sauce. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. But that aside, Sean brought up a point, like, what do you think about these particular things? I think Nintendo in this situation did the absolute right thing. What people didn't realize, like when I woke up in the morning to a text from Toby going like, so this just happened, and I was like, my first reaction, my gut reaction was like, oh, come on, dude, really? And then I was like, because I'm thinking like it was just a little rumble, and then I was like, wait a minute, let me go see what happened.
Right.
And then I looked up and I was like, wow. Like, this looks like absolute destruction. Like, roads.
Fake.
Yeah. It was
like, it actually looks like somebody.
Oh, it looks fake. I thought you said it was fake.
It's so horrendous that it's like there's no way this could be real.
Exactly.
When did I open an Onion.com article?
Exactly.
Yeah, like it's like I'm looking at like buildings literally like leaning against each other, and they said that like Kyoto in the town that this earthquake happened in is like 600 miles away. Kyoto really wasn't affected by it, but Nintendo, out of respect for the people that were missing and died, and apparently like a good portion of Japan lost power, they just were like, hey, you know what? We're not going to do anything. Like, we're just going to back off of this and kind of let it go. So in this particular situation, I totally agree with what they did. The other thing, I don't know exactly what that was you were talking about with the Destiny. So
Bungie had scheduled to reveal some trailer for the new Forsaken DLC, and they decided to take a day off or postpone it a little bit because it was just after the Jacksonville shooting.
Okay.
And so similar, like I feel like video games are starting to, or companies or the industry is starting to kind of like realize it lives within a world that like real life happens, and you kind of have to respect that real life happens. And I'm trying to remember something had happened. I believe it was before E3 2017, maybe, or maybe in 2016. Was it the Orlando shooting or something had happened? And a couple of shows had gone on and people were like, why didn't anybody recognize that? And I'm sure that I think EA went on and like it was weird that nobody said anything. And then Xbox came on and like they had addressed it head on and just said, look, our hearts and everything is with these people, but you know, the show must go on. But they at least addressed it. And I've really kind of like grown to like that people who have obviously 1,000 other things on their minds are looking at what's further than just in front of their face. That there's real life that's happening and impacting people around us, and it's almost like they're leading by example. So if we were at Nintendo, like I would really want to see a lot more of this, because it shows that there's other things that are more important, and that it's important for us to kind of just take a step outside of our bubble, out of our video game bubble, and just take a moment. It's almost like having like your flags at half mast, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's the sort of like the equivalent here. So I'm all for it.
Yeah. I think back to, it's a little strange to bring up, but like I always look at like the WWE and I look at Vince McMahon, and those guys never stop all year long. They don't stop. And after 9/11, they came back and they were like, the show must go on. Like, we need to show people. I think there's a weird thing to some degree. The shooting, I think each instance kind of should be taken in a case-by-case situation.
I totally agree.
Like in this particular situation where the kid shot up the Madden thing, like, yes, you take a break. I never, ever feel like you take breaks in a situation where it's a terrorist attack. And that's just because I feel like then you're letting terrorism win to some degree.
Yeah.
But like in a natural disaster, things of that nature, like I say, like, yes, shut it down. Let's take a break. Let's take a deep breath. Let's figure out what the hell's going on here, and then move forward, push forward. That's all I would say. So, I would take it case by case in those instances, just because it's brutal, dude. Like that Madden thing. It's weird because I didn't want to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, I did a show the next day, and I was like, I don't want to talk about it because I felt like it was like, am I taking advantage of the situation just for clicks and all that stuff? Right. And it was like, but I felt like in that situation, I felt like gaming's taking a beating lately. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, in the United States, politicians are trying to find every reason to blame gaming rather than blame themselves for dropping the ball on things. And we're living in this world right now where, kids are dying over stupid things. And it's like, rather than just course correcting things, just all you idiots get in a room and figure it out. You're paid to do a job. Get in there and figure it out rather than pointing fingers. Because it makes no sense. Because there was times when you blamed comic books for stuff. There was time when you blamed movies. There was time when you blamed television. There's time when you blamed video games back in the day, and then they put a rating system in check. You have nobody to blame for video games for these issues, because video games aren't to blame. There's ratings on the games. If you can't see that, if you don't even know that, get out of here with that nonsense. It reminds me of when they brought Facebook in. When they brought Mark Zuckerberg into Congress. Mm-hmm. And they're going, well, some of my staffers told me that this happens and this happens. You're telling me that you're actually going to question this guy and you don't even know what the hell Facebook is? Like, dude, you need to go away. Seriously. Like, anybody that sits there and asks questions like that, go away. Your time has passed you, brother. Like, technology is beyond you. You're out of your league. And that's my biggest issue with what's going on with this. It's a shame that these tragedies are happening. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like... And the other thing that blew my mind, and I saw this week that there's going to be the one kid that survived is actually suing EA and a bunch of other people. Mm-hmm. I don't know how this dude got in the venue with a gun. How?
I think we say that every time or something like that.
Well, but I mean, like, it's like, where the hell was the security at? And that's what they're doing. I guess they're saying there was no security there, so he's going to sue the venue that it was in.
Or not?
Because I don't know, man. I went to E3, and dude, it was like an act of Congress to get into E3. Like, they were checking everything.
Act of Congress.
It was well, it takes forever to get through things. That's what I'm saying.
The sad thing about, I don't even think it was that big of a thing. Like it was EA. Anyways, that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like movie theaters are bigger and they don't have airport security over there. So
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
plus, I'm
unfortunately,
I'm the friendly Canadian over here. So what do I know?
we have to have this conversation all the time. And I think back at the whole subject, the most unfortunate instance of circumstance is what happened when they had Death Road to Canada is about to release, and we literally have an event that took place in Canada involving a vehicle. And
Yeah, we use cars instead, guys.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's
unbelievable.
just.
It was literally a death road in Canada.
We didn't have to worry about this when we were kids trying to play video games,
Mm-hmm.
and it's nuts the world we live in now, and this is our new normal. Unfortunately, it's our new normal.
Yeah. We took a bad turn there.
I know. It was weird. I was like, you know what? Bobby's going off on his thing.
Yeah.
I was just wondering,
you
like,
know,
what,
because
what do we do? What do we do?
Well,
about it?
and it
You know
started.
what I mean?
It started with that, like what would we do?
Yeah.
And all, but it's a situation that's really bugging me lately. Just because,
well, the way that it rolled out too, though, was like they postponed the thing, they postponed the direct, and then all the auto things that were supposed to get
started
available now.
Like,
that's what I was
I
saying.
guess-
Like,
Yeah,
how
that's
do
my
you?
question too. Let's go on the other side of it. Is like, what do you do now? Because it looks like a lot of the stuff that looks like would have been included in this direct, like Mega Man 11 demo, was like it's available now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
That-
the other news are now getting announced. So it's like, what do you do now? Because a lot of Diablo, that I'm sure that was part of.
Well, the
this direct.
Diablo thing I think was definitely part of it, but that got leaked
Yeah.
weeks before because
right,
of Forbes.
exactly. So it's
And
like,
then
what's left there? I guess some 2D, some.
No,
2D,
the Diablo thing
2DS
you're talking
games,
about is
3DS
different, right,
games.
Jason? You're talking about something else.
No, I'm talking about because that trailer that they did for Diablo looked very much like it was part of a direct. I'm just
What about
imagining
this?
how, like,
What about this rumor I'm hearing that it's a different date that is moved?
oh, that's still that's apparently rumored it's going to be announced probably at BlizzCon. That's
Oh, okay.
yeah, because that was all a rumor that the first date anyway, and now there's rumors of dates. So we're just
the other thing, like
it's like,
final.
what do they have left? What are they going to announce, and when do you do that? And are we just going to get a video that says here's our online service?
Well, Final
Right.
Fantasy got announced as well, right?
Yeah,
so that
that's
was another one
another
that they could. Civilization 6 that got announced today, and the Yoshi got a tight. So I think
Yoshi,
we're going to see
Eggman,
like,
Civ.
and it's a shame because it's like I feel like
Spoilers in case anybody else was like trying to.
there was no way to miss it. I mean, honestly, there was no way to miss any of this stuff that went down. Like, it was popping up all over the place. I mean, it was like, it was on Nintendo's website, like the Yoshi thing. That's how they found out about the online stuff. And
Yeah. I just think it goes to show of like how last minute the decision was, like how like everything was ready to go. And I think part of it is Nintendo like clearly could have just like continued to press play. It's not even like they press play. They schedule the thing, or maybe it is like a live stream, or
it's not
like,
live. It's definitely not a live stream. It's they run it live.
A play video, right?
Yeah, they stream it live, but it's played video. So it's just
course.
basically like doing what we do and then clicking play and walking away. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and that's all it is.
So they made that decision so late, and I guess if we're in Nintendo, you know, it's almost like you have to have a crisis plan.
Yeah.
Like you have, if you're gonna have to pull the plug on anything, this is like the last time that it rolls out like that again. Like you knowing that these things happen, and if this is sort of like the protocol that we have to follow, if something happens, we got to stop a thing, then like make sure that the direct doesn't essentially like leak out as
That's
like things
yeah.
that pop up
And also, I would
afterwards.
go to the third party developers and be like, guys, just give me a couple days here.
Yeah, that's an effort.
You know what I mean?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, like it's like I know you might want to make your announcement. I know you might have things hinging on it. And I think the thing like when you look at like Final Fantasy, that was linked to, it was also going to Xbox and to PlayStation, and maybe they needed to get it out there. You know what I mean? Like maybe they just could, because it also went on sale at PlayStation yesterday. So I think they had sales in order that they had to get it out there, and they were just like, okay, we're going forward. Like, it sucks that this happened, but we're just moving forward with it. And it was like, I don't know. It's also rumored that it's going to be the 13th. It'll be next Thursday. They're going to move it 1 week, so that'll be different. Not different, but that's Nintendo hasn't officially come out with it. So
yeah, they're lucky that they're not like going into a crazy new season either.
Yeah.
Like where they move it and like, oh, that date was. I mean, they picked that date on purpose.
Yeah.
As you
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
alluded to. Now they're sort of at a backup date. So I don't know. It'd be very interesting to see how that impacts anything, if at all.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just wanted to talk to you guys.
No, that's
about
good.
Yeah.
So that is all. Thank you guys for tuning in today and checking out If We Ran Nintendo. You can follow Mr. Jason Lacy over on the Twitters at JWLacy. Also, if you want to support him on the Patreons, you can go check it out, patreon.com/fluxdeposed. Sean Capri, Sean like Connor, Capri like Pants over on Twitter as well. If you want to support him on Patreon, it's patreon.com/makeusbetter. And you can go check me out over on nintendoguru.com, or if you want to check it out on Twitter at Nintendo Gurus. That is all. Peace out, Preston.
Flux with flux. Flux with flux. Jason.